Hello, my friends, today. I have great story for you. Once upon a time, in a place filled with twinkling stars and whispering winds, there lived a little boy named Leo, who had a very big problem. Every night when it was time for bed, Leo would stare out of his window and sigh. He wished something exciting would happen. But all he saw were the same old trees swaying in the night breeze and the silent, sleepy houses of his neighbors. One day, however, everything changed. As Leo was getting ready for bed, he heard a gentle knock on his window. He went to see and peeked outside. There he saw the most magical thing ever, a tiny train made of glowing moonbeams. It was painted in soft pastel colors and decorated with twinkling stars. The train puffed out wisps of lavender smoke from its chimney and looked like it had just popped out of one of Leo's bedtime stories. Curious and excited, Leo quickly opened the window and climbed aboard. Inside, he found a cozy compartment with soft, fluffy cushions and curtains made of spun sugar. Suddenly, the train lurched forward and they were off on an exciting nighttime adventure. As the train glided past the sleeping houses, Leo noticed that the passengers were all animals wearing pajamas and carrying teddy bears. An owl in a conductor's hat sat up front, guiding the train with a golden whistle. Behind him, a big brown bear in a striped pajama top and matching slippers looked after the engine. And in the next carriage, a clever raccoon served yummy snacks to the passengers while wearing a chef's hat and an apron. "Welcome to the moonlight train," said the owl conductor, noticing Leo. "I'm so glad you joined us. Where would you like to go tonight? We can take you to the floating cloud kingdoms, the land of lost toys, or the whispering forest." Leo thought for a moment. He had always loved clouds and daydreamed about what it would be like to float in them. So without hesitation, he replied, "Can we go to the floating cloud kingdoms, please?" The owl conductor nodded and blew his whistle. With a puff of stardust, the train disappeared into the night sky. They were now soaring high above the ground, flying through the softest, fluffiest clouds. Leo gasped as they bounced and glided over valleys made of spun sugar and rivers of melted chocolate. Soon they arrived at a magnificent palace made entirely of white marble and gold leaf. It sparkled in the moonlight and looked like a giant marshmallow. "This is the palace of the Cloud King," explained the bear engineer. "He's very kind, but he's also very lonely. Perhaps you could cheer him up." Before Leo could reply, the raccoon had opened another compartment filled with juggling pins, rubber chickens, and rainbow scarves. "Here's some things that might help," she said with a wink. Then the four of them got off the train and walked up the palace steps to pay the king a surprise visit. When they knocked on the door, a booming voice called out, "Who's there?" "It's me," said Leo, "a friend from the moonlight train. I brought some things to help you have some fun." The door swung open and the Cloud King stood before them. He wore a robe made of woven moonlight and a crown that glittered like 1,000 stars. He looked sad, just like the engineer had said. "Oh, hello," said the king. "I haven't had any company in ages, but I don't know how to have fun. All I do is watch the moonbeams dance and listen to the wind sing. Could you teach me how to laugh and play again?" Of course, Leo was happy to help. They all spent the evening playing with the colorful toys, making the king laugh and smile for the first time in a long while. Soon, it was time for Leo to return home, so they said their goodbyes and got back on the moonlight train. As they flew away from the Cloud Palace, Leo felt a warm glow inside. It was nice to make someone else happy for a change. But then he realized something. He hadn't even asked what these places were like. He hadn't explored anything himself. He had only done what other people wanted. Just then, the raccoon put a paw on his shoulder. "Are you sure you don't want to stay longer and learn something new?" she asked gently. "We could teach you how to juggle or tell you stories about faraway lands." Leo thought for a moment. She was right. He did want to explore and have fun. So he replied, "Actually, yes, that would be lovely." And so the train stopped once more and the passengers invited Leo to join them in a game of hide-and-seek. He laughed and ran to find a hiding spot, feeling happier than he had in a long time. As the night deepened, the moonlight train continued to take Leo on magical adventures to amazing places. In the land of lost toys, he learned that even if you're lost or broken, you can always find friendship and acceptance. In the Whispering Forest, he discovered that dreams can come true if you believe in them. At each stop, Leo learned something new about himself and the world around him. He faced his fears, helped others, and made new friends. And with each passing moment, he felt himself growing braver, kinder, and more curious. Finally, as the first rays of sunlight began to peek over the horizon, it was time for Leo to go home. He stepped off the train with a heavy heart, knowing that he wouldn't be able to join the magical journey until next time. But as he climbed back into his bed and snuggled under his blankets, he couldn't help but smile. He had learned so much and had so many wonderful stories to tell. He knew that every night when the moonbeams danced and the wind sang, he would be embarking on a new adventure with his animal friends. And so Leo closed his eyes, dreaming of magical trains, talking animals and faraway lands. He drifted off to sleep with a sense of peace and happiness that he had never known before. From that day on, Leo looked forward to bedtime. Every night he would rush to his window, eager to see the moonlight train arriving with its cargo of adventure and wonder. He knew that with each journey he would become a little wiser, a little braver, and a little kinder, all thanks to the magic of dreams and the power of friendship. If you enjoyed this enchanting tale, don't forget to show your support. Your encouragement means the world to us and inspires us to create more magical stories for you to enjoy. Thank you for joining Leo on his extraordinary adventures. Now close your eyes, drift off to sleep, and let the moonlight train take you on a journey of your own. Sweet dreams.